another episode of Jay Leno's Garage. You know, there are some cars that are so exotic and so rare, I never thought I would ever get them in the garage. And this is one of them. This is the Koenigsegg. This is that legendary automobile that you've read about, you've heard about. You know, everybody thinks they can build a supercar. First, everybody wants to, then everybody thinks they can, and some people come close, but very few actually do it. And Christian Koenigsegg has managed to do it amidst all the skeptics in Sweden. Yeah, a car from Sweden. Isn't that 3-cylinder with the 2-stroke engine? Yeah, yeah. Well, let's meet Christian. Christian, come on in here. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, it's an honor to meet you. I've read about your exploits in all the European magazines and all the American magazines, and it's great to see this car finally here in America. It is a beautiful, hand-built automobile. You know, people always say, what's the need for cars like this? Well, cars like this raise the standard of all other cars. There's a level of build quality and technical superiority that just makes, you know, it's like the water raises all boats, that kind of thing. And it's just something to aspire to. This is just a beautiful, beautiful automobile. Tell us a little bit about the history of the company. Now, you were quite young when you started it, correct?
Yes.
Well, you're quite young now. How old are you now?
37.
He's 37 years old. All right, thank you. What was I doing when I was 37?
Yeah, I was 22 when I started.
Okay.
But actually I was more like 5 years old, I guess, when I had my dream to build my own car. I saw this Norwegian stop-motion film called Pinchcliffe Grand Prix.
Yeah.
About a bicycle repairman who built his own race car on a mountaintop in Norway and raced kind of a Le Mans race. And I remember walking out of the theater thinking, that's what I want to do when I grow up.
And the fact you've been able to do it is pretty amazing. I remember when you first came on the scene, there was a lot of, what? I mean, the skeptics are what really must annoy you and drive you crazy.
Well, I kind of expected it, of course.
Yeah.
It is a crazy idea, but I want to do it anyway.
Well, you know, and the thing is, you know, there are so many charlatans out there. There's so many people that, oh, I'll take an engine from this, and I'll take a transmission from that, and I'll build a super. They have no idea. And you're an engineer by trade, correct?
Yeah, well, I've learned to become one.
Right, okay. So tell us about the car.
It's a fully hand-built, of course, fully carbon fiber monocoque, mid-engine. What was one of the ideas we had originally, which we kept for all our car models, is this detachable hardtop.
Right.
It kind of looks like it wouldn't even fit in the front, but it actually does. That took a lot of engineering to get that in there. And we actually have the largest luggage space of any supercar, so it's kind of practical. And you get two cars in one. It's really a true coupe. You don't get any sign of that you can take the roof off. But when it's off, it's a true kind of speedster look with two speedster humps. It's very low drag on the car. It started out very minimalistic supercar, and over the years, of course, we added features, added aerodynamic features and so on. And this is one of the latest iterations, the Trevita. It's only 3 made. Trevita means 3 whites in Swedish, so we have this proprietary white carbon fiber weave.
This is just beautiful. Look at this done. I've never seen this before. So you're only building 3 of these?
Of this particular white carbon car.
So the club meetings, you don't need a whole lot of room, really.
No.
Yeah, sure. So if everybody if all the owners get together, you can pretty much do it in a hotel room.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. This is like, I don't know what the equivalent would be. Owning the Hope Diamond. I don't know what it would be. But you know, it's an automotive artifact. You know, I always keep reading that there are no great cars built after 1974. All the good stuff is in the 60s and the 50s. But you know, that's not really true. This is a car that will be prized years and years and years in the future. You know, so many cars now, it's so hard to meet the regulations, and everything has to be standardized, and it's a real testament to your ability and your tenacity just to get it built. Show people how the door opens. This is fascinating.
Yeah. It's double synchro helix actuation doors.
Okay, give me that. Double synchro helix
actuation
doors. There you go, right there. Good day, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, so it's actually a practical feature because the door is very wide, because the carbon monocoque is wide.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have a narrow cockpit area to reduce frontal area for the drag. So if we would have opened this door normally like we did on our first prototype, it would have moved out to here somewhere, and you would still have a worse ingress than now. Now it's completely open.
Yeah, that's beautifully done. And I must say, you know, I'm someone who, I take a great deal of pride when I see an American manufacturer build something in America. So I imagine in Sweden, you must be a national hero. I mean, kids must look up to you, because I think of the Saab Sonnet and a few other sporty cars. But for those auto enthusiasts in Sweden, and I know you're a modest guy, but I mean, there must be a great sense of pride that this car is built in their homeland.
I think we're getting there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think you're there. I think you're there. And I like how you keep saying it's practical. Is that so the guy can explain to the wife, honey, it has more luggage space than any supercar. And look, you can get in and out easily.
Get in and out, exactly.
You have to do that. But yeah, beautifully, beautifully done. Just the level of finish and the level of detail here. This is how you open the...
Yeah, you just pop that and you pop the rear.
And tell us about the engine.
Yeah, so it's custom-built aluminium V8, dry sump lubrication, double overhead camshaft. In this iteration, it's 4.8 liter with twin supercharger. Complete with exhaust manifold and superchargers, it weighs 198 kilos, whatever that equates to in pounds, I'm not sure. But it's a light engine, considering in this case it runs on biofuel and has 1,018 horsepower. And what we're very proud of is that it's completely hand-built, especially for this car, with a bespoke block that we cast in England and machine in Sweden.
1,018 horsepower. Now the Bugatti Veyron is also 1,000 horsepower, quite a bit heavier, correct?
Oh yes.
Almost twice as much?
I would think so, twice the size and twice the weight.
Okay, so let's do the math there, okay? It doesn't take a genius. Power to weight ratio. This is 1,000 horsepower. The Bugatti Veyron, at least up to this point, was the fastest car in the world, at almost twice the weight with the same horsepower. So I think, and it's rear-wheel drive.
It is rear-wheel drive.
I'm not a big, I mean, I like four-wheel drive, but I have to admit I like being able to sort of slide it out a little bit. Tell us about the transmission.
Yeah, so in this case it's a transversal semi-automatic paddle shift gearbox with super synchronization, 30 millisecond shift time. It's developed by us in conjunction with X-Track, specialist in racing gearboxes originally. Again, lightweight, can take 1,100 Newton meters of torque. Very fast. We were considering dual clutch, but with this super synchro system, we get much less weight and similar shifting time. So again, a more minimalistic approach.
And incredible bracing here for strength. Look at all of this here, the way this comes. And this all obviously unbolts to take the engine out if you need be. These are cooling ducts here, obviously, for the brakes. What are the brakes?
And the ceramic brakes, AP Racing calipers, bespoke for the car, 400 millimeter discs in the front, 38 millimeters wide, 380 in the rear, 34 millimeters wide. Racing ABS Bosch system, so very, very, very good brakes, of course.
Okay, so you've got an ABS system in it.
Yes, we got dual airbags, ABS, traction control, hydraulic lifting system.
And the car is legal here in America?
It is. Yes.
Okay, and the fact you actually had to crash test one of these.
We had to do 18 crash tests. Fortunately, we didn't have to crash 18 cars.
Right. And again, it's just, you know, it's this level of detail. For those of us that are not craftsmen but enjoy craftsmanship, it's just beautifully, beautifully done. I mean, every little nut, every little bolt. You know, this is the kind of car, even if you're not driving it, you can just go in your garage and sit down, have a glass of wine, just sort of look at the car, and look, your eye falls to all the beautiful little details here, how nicely everything is put together. Yet it's accessible, you know. So many modern cars, you open the hood and there's this big sheets of plastic, and you can't see the internals of it. I mean, to me, this is like opening the back of a beautiful handmade watch. You can see all the gears, all the pieces. You see how everything is put together. Nicely done here. How many speed did you say it was?
This is 6-speed.
6-speed.
But we also have a 7-speed coming out in.
Oh, and a 7-speed as well. Okay, yeah. I might want to wait for the 7-speed, but 6-speed is. I can live with the 6-speed. Let's move around to the front of the car as well.